What is going on, you amazing agency owners? I hope you guys are having an incredible day. Today, I want to walk you guys through exactly how we're able to collect multi-six figures a month in new cash collected within bad marketing, and how you guys are able to do the same using our agency closer systems. And if you need it, I'll give you guys a full rundown on how we're going to be able to help you with that as well. I'm going to be fully transparent in this video so that you guys have everything that you guys need to be successful when it comes to scaling your agency. Because in the end, guys, this is one giant sales and marketing game, and not just the operational side if you guys want to really scale. So let's jump into this. I'm going to make my head smaller here, and we're going to give you a full deep dive. So first and foremost, guys, my name is Curtis. I run a company called the Agency Closers. We work with marketing agencies to optimize their sales process to get them to $100K a month in new cash collected and or beyond. If you're already there, we're able to take you guys even further. For context, guys, my business partner is Eddie Malouf, who is the CEO and founder of Bad Marketing, arguably one of the top marketing agencies in the space right now, where we're able to collect multiple six figures per month in new cash collected just between Eddie and I in the sales process, and been able to replicate that for years now, getting to multiple seven figures per month within the agency. So we're going to talk a bit about that, guys, and what we've been able to accomplish on. And just to be clarified, when we say these numbers, we're not talking about revenue. We're talking about new cash collected, and these are all 6-month agreements. So we're adding seven figures a month to the business, depending on the month, obviously, in contract value every single month. And obviously, you guys can imagine how that would impact your business. Imagine adding 20, 30K per month to your guys' business every single month for the next year. How much bigger would you be able to grow and scale, let alone being able to add an extra 10, 20K a month in new cash collected in the next 60 to 90 days, regardless of the size that you're in, because most people have a sales problem and not a lean problem, which we're going to talk about here in a second. So what are we and what is this? So agency closers, a lot of people are a little bit confused about agency closers. Some of you guys think that this is like a sales agency where we're coming and running sales for agencies. That's not what we do. Agency closers is also not an info program. We're not a course. We're not a Cole Gordon or Jeremy Miner. You're not going to come in and watch a bunch of modules. We're a service. I come into your business as a sales director and manager, and we optimize your sales process one-on-one in a custom capacity for your audience, your niche, for your agency, and implement this. And you guys literally have access to me in Slack like you would have a sales director and or a sales manager leading your guys' sales process, whether you're a agency owner and or have a sales team that you need led. That is the whole purpose of this, with the pure goal of optimizing you guys to be able to get to the point where you're collecting 45, 50, maybe 60, 70% a close rate within the business, which will allow you guys to scale more aggressively as we kind of go a little bit further here. So this is not a course or an info product, guys. This is a service. And instead of paying 20K a month for a sales director, it's a small fraction of the cost because of how we've been able to do this and set this up with hundreds of agencies at this point. So what is the agency closer system and what are we able to do? And basically, guys, what I want you guys to think about is that in your agency, you guys are leaving a ton of money on the table because you do not have a system. This is the key thing here, guys. System. A lot of you guys are winging your sales process. We're going to get into, and what you really have to have is a blueprint to follow on every single call, which will allow you to collect predictable amounts of cash, right? Every single month, you guys should be collecting the same amount of cash and or greater, because every call is the same, which means every objection becomes the same, which means that every close should ultimately become the same, and we can have an actual replicatable system that we can move forward. Just by implementing the system, specifically our agency closer framework, which is a process that we follow on calls, and it's more than just questions that we ask. It's the positioning of how we run these calls, how we set authority, how we have the most amount of status in the space, which will allow you guys to close higher percentages, but also outclose some of your bigger competitors that you think are doing better because they have big brands, when reality is they just have a really good sales process. We're going to walk through that here a bit. My goal, guys, in the end of this video, I've already kind of said this, is just to give you everything you need to know around agency closers and how we're able to do this. And so by the end of it, you're going to have all that information, and I'll also give you a bit of a rundown on who I am here in a second. We already talked about this is not a course. And guys, just to be really clear, this is not for info, car sales, door-to-door sales, or tech sales. This is only for agencies and service-based businesses in the B2B space, okay? So who am I? My name is Kurtanderton. I actually come from about a decade in the agency space at this point. I have my own agency. which then expanded over a few years to eventually meeting Eddie Malouf, where I then stepped in and took over sales at Bad Marketing. And at the time, I think we were doing around 600K a month. Eddie was taking calls, and I came in and actually took his brain. We had nothing on paper. We had no systems. And I actually took the exact process from sitting on calls with Eddie. If you guys don't know, Eddie Malouf is probably one of the top closers in the space. When it comes to the agency world, people don't really know that because they know him from marketing. I know him from sales. For context, guys, I poked the bear a little bit with Eddie, and I've watched him go just to spite me and collect almost $200,000 in cash in a single day in 6-month contracts just to prove a point because he could. This man can will deals to happen. It's absolutely wild. And so I was able to take his brain and what he implements when it comes to positioning and authority and leverage and negotiation, as well as his process on calls where he can rip apart any business at any time to showcase that he's the ultimate expert and he has the authority on a call. We made that into our agency closer framework, which I implemented within Bad 4.5 years ago now, which has allowed us to get to multiple 6 figures per month in new cash collected, but not once, but the entire year we've been collecting over 100K in new cash collected. Whereas before that, we'd go from like 30K in cash to 50 to maybe 100 and then back down to 30. And we've been able to sustain consistently hitting 6 figures in cash collected because of this framework. I've been at Bad now for about 4 years running the sales process. And then a little over, I guess 6 months ago or so, Eddie and I actually partnered on agents and closers, and he's now officially an equity partner within this business, helped me run things behind the scenes. Why? Something else that I'm a huge part of that a lot of people don't really know is I take care of all intake around a company called Agency Founders, which Eddie also owns and operates. This is ultimately the biggest marketing agency business that there is out there when it comes to events, masterminds. We work with thousands of agencies. Every single year, we have 200 plus of the top agencies come out to our events. Just one event every single year that we run, which is Agency Founders Live. And then this is our smaller, more intimate program, which is Agency Founder Accelerator, which I'm not going to get into right now, where all the top agencies doing over 6 figure a month come together and work together. And so I've been able to impact and work with hundreds of agencies through this ecosystem, which has also allowed us to replicate this process through every single niche and every single price point, from $1,500 a month all the way up to $40,000 a month. And it works for every single agency at every single size. So why agency closers, guys? Most agencies don't realize this, but they're a step away from collecting like 50K plus in new cash collected with just making a few small tweaks. And it's not what you think. It's actually not like how you run your call and what you say. It's how you say it and how to position yourself to have a proper sales process. It's really funny, but most agency owners that come into my ecosystem think that they're God's gift to sales. They actually do. They're like, oh no, I've closed tons of deals. I'm really, really good at sales. I don't have a sales problem. You have a sales problem, which we're going to get into. You actually suck. Almost like 9 times out of 10, an agency owner will come in to work with us telling me that they don't have a sales problem, and they end up actually being terrible at sales, but they have so much conviction and status from owning the agency, and they have an expertise, so they get away with it. And maybe they're closing above a 25%, which is the industry average. So they think they're above average, when in reality is like, no, you're just the owner, and you have a lot of authority, and people trust you more than a closer would, or they would trust a closer, right? You need to be better at sales. A lot of agencies come in thinking they have a lead gen issue, when in reality, you don't have a lead gen issue. Guys, a couple months ago, Bad Marketing had 21 leads come through. 21 total, sorry, not leads, 21 demos that I took in a single month to collect 150K in cash collected. 21 demos. Think about that for a second. A lot of you guys have 30 demos a month and you're collecting like 20K and you're just spinning your wheels and you don't know why. This is the problem, is that everybody tries to fix a sales problem by adding more leads. When in reality, what ends up happening is you have a broken system, you do not have a proven sales process, and then you pump even more leads into that, and it just gets worse. And you're taking more calls, collecting the same amount of money, being busier, being spread thin, and the process just doesn't work. Or maybe you are growing, when in reality, though, you could be collecting twice as much because your process is broken. You just don't even realize it. Another issue is that a lot of agencies owners are not able to replace themselves with a sales rep. They get stuck in the sales process over and over and over again. And every time they try to hire a closer, it falls apart and they don't understand why. It's because you cannot take your brain and just put it into somebody else. You have to have a process for them to follow or they will fail, which is another big part of what we're able to help with and what we do here with an agency closers. Something else is, unfortunately, in the space, guys, we're all entrepreneurs. And so we try to solve and fix problems within our agencies 24/7. But the problem is most of you guys have never actually been in a professional sales setting where you actually are closing at a high level. You just got scrappy and you're closing deals because it's your business and you have to, or maybe you had a little bit of like car sales experience or door-to-door sales experience in the past, and you think it's the same. When in reality, agent sales, I would argue, is one of the most technical sales processes. Some of you guys are closing 5, 6 different services at different price points in one 45-minute call and converting. Really hard to do, and it's not the same as literally any other industry when it comes to sales. So the problem is that you think you're good, but in reality is you're not. And now you bring on a closer and you are leading the blind. You are literally, you've never managed a sales team before. You've never done call reviews before. You don't have any kind of a system to lead a closer when it comes to the mental and emotional side of things. And so now you're just two people blind running in the same direction or different directions, and it's failing miserably. And this is why you're not doing weekly call reviews. You're not doing weekly trainings. You don't have a proper system in place, and everything falls apart. All right, we're going to fix that. This is where we come in, guys. This is where we are able to come in and basically implement everything that we do at Bad Marketing in our systems to be able to help you guys get to this point where you have this proven sales engine within your agency. And I'm going to walk you guys through it in a second. So basically, what systems that you guys have to have in place in order to accomplish this? We'll go through this list by list, okay? Number one, you guys have to have a sales process that goes above and beyond the average sale, the average agency. You have to be better. We're in a place now where there's so many agencies out here. There's so many people competing under the same space. And reality is, guys, you can no longer just operate as average. Everybody has the same called book funnel. They have the same reminders. They have the same maybe appointment setting script because they all got it from Cole Gordon. And prospects will opt into your process, and it just feels like every other agency, and you wonder why you're getting so many objections about, I got to talk to other agencies. You guys are like everybody else. And the reality is that you guys just need to level up. You have to get better. And so a couple things you have to have implemented: a proper high quality sales process that goes above and beyond the average, a 5-star experience. I've got lots of videos on this on YouTube to go check it out. You have to have a 5-star experience. You then have to have a proven blueprint, which I call the agency closer framework, which you guys, if you shoot me a DM on Instagram, you probably already have it if you're watching this video. That framework, it goes beyond just the questions that you ask. There is a way to execute that framework to set yourself up as the utmost authority in the space and close at such a higher percentage. And it's about not what you say, but how you say it, which is what I'm able to come in and help you guys with. So you get the sales process dialed. The call, you have the agency closer framework, which will then create a system. The goal is that every single call is the same. Every discussion and discovery is the same, which will allow you guys to have the same pitch to solve the same problems as your prospects are facing, and ultimately have the same objections, which means that you can get really good at solving them or not having objections at all and closing at a way higher percentage every single call. We now have a system in place that goes with the setting process, that goes with the closing process, that goes with the onboarding process, the audit process. I help you guys with every single step of it. Sorry, that's what you guys just have to have in place in order to be successful. And then finally, offer optimization. You guys have to be in a position where you are closing more cash every single month, whether that's optimizing for PIFs and MR at the same time. Maybe you guys start to up your pricing. Every agency I've ever worked with is undercharging. So the first thing that we do is optimize and increase pricing without changing any deliverables, which will allow you guys to collect so much more cash within your agency. The biggest issue agencies face is that they're too scared to ask for more money. And guess what? You don't get it then. So we're going to help you kind of implement that. But if you have those things in place, right? Proper sales process, proper agency closer framework, and then you have the ability to optimize your offer to be able to collect more cash, you will scale and scale quickly. Just a matter of fact. If you guys have 10 demos per month and you're not collecting $20K a month in new cash collected, you have a sales problem. All right. So now how do you guys get access to this? What does that look like? How do you guys get this implemented into your business? We'll walk through it. Okay. So this is where we come in. You guys, by joining Agency Closers in our system, working with me one-on-one in the team, this is everything that you're going to get. Okay. You're going to get unlimited coaching with our team, with me in particular. Okay. What that means is 24/7 Slack support directly with me. This is not a group chat. This is a direct DM to me in Slack. If you have any questions or any issues, voice memos, messages back and forth every single day with whatever problems that you face, just like you would have a sales manager. On top of that, you will also get one-on-one calls with me and group calls so that you have not only custom time to solve your problems and to get better within your ecosystem, you also get Q&A time with me and our other amazing coaches. It's mainly me right now to give you guys access to everything that you need to know, but you'll have that mixture. So there's community aspect, but there's mainly one-on-one, which is where we're going to do the most damage on a one-on-one standpoint. I'm going to give you guys the exact framework and not only give it to you, but train you on it and implement it into your business so that it's executed properly. As you guys can imagine, you might be given a how to launch a big business, but if you don't know the nuances and how to execute it, you're not going to grow. So I'll give you the agency closer framework. You're also going to get a full system audit where I'm going to optimize literally everything in your sales process. We're going to make changes to increase your show rates. We're going to make changes to increase your follow-up capabilities. We're going to be able to optimize your offer to charge more money, so on and so forth. Sometimes we've been able to simplify offers. An example of this, guys, is I took a roofing agency that was doing roofing for lead gen, charging $1,500 a month for the usual Facebook ads, go high level, setting, setup, landing page build outs, $1,500 a month. And what we did is we actually simplified it. We got rid of almost everything. And all they were doing is Google local service ads for $3,500 a month. That was it. And they were ripping. We went from 0 to 30K a month in like 45 days as a brand new agency, just by optimizing their offer and having more authority on calls. We'll help you optimize your offer and positioning. Sales call reviews. I'm literally going to watch your calls and keep you accountable and make sure that you guys have everything that you need to get better. This is where most of the growth is had. It's one thing to get training. It's another thing to have an accountability person watching your calls to make sure you're pushing, giving you feedback on how to handle objections, figuring out why clients are not closing. All of that will be added and make a huge difference through call reviews. This is a game changer. Guys, this is not group call reviews. This is literally me watching your call and sending it to you one-on-one through Loom videos. Finally, we'll walk you guys through your follow-up process, which will give you guys the ability to start collecting 30 to 40% more cash using a proper follow-up system, which works for agency owners that are still running the business and or your sales team. Ongoing training will also be adapted and we change this all the time. So for agency owners' needs, we're constantly making changes and adding to the ecosystem. For example, in the future, I plan to be adding lead gen support so that you guys have everything you need to run proper ads so that you guys can grow and scale more effectively, all included in this whole package. Plus, you get some bonuses, guys. You'll also get a bunch of tracking systems that will be implemented within the business. So metric tracking, projection tracking, KPIs, or exact hiring blueprint to find and hire closers. I actually will help you place a closer with our ecosystem. I've got over 400 private closers that we have access through bad marketing that I'll be able to place into your business if needed. And then we'll also be able to help you guys with closer and setter ramp up. We have a system for that so that you guys can actually not only optimize your sales process, but then eventually scale yourself out of your sales process. So guys, that is everything. How long is it? I do not do contracts. This is a month-to-month working with me. Okay, month-to-month. If you guys get value, you can stay. I pay for myself very, very quickly. And so people tend to stay for 6 to 8 months. I like to say a verbal handshake of at least 90 days so that we can do everything properly. But ultimately, you're going to see quick wins from it within the first 30 days and have everything that you need. Now, what we're going to do, guys, I don't take sales calls for this. I don't. The reason why is because I want to work with agency owners that are actually ready and wanting to optimize the sales process and are ready to go all in. And so I don't want to be hopping on a call and hard closing you, which is really funny, right? I'm a sales offer and I'm not taking sales calls. But there's a reason for that. This allows me to protect quality. My goal is not to take on every agency in the world. My goal is to take on specific agencies that I can really make impact on. And so if you guys are interested and you want to work with us, shoot me a DM on Instagram and just say, let's get started. And I'll give you everything that you need to know about pricing. I will literally send you this exact document with pricing options. Normally, I would just say it on the video, but obviously things change as time goes on. And so if you guys want access to it, shoot me a DM, say, let's get started. I'll send you literally everything that you need to know about this offer, what's included, the costs, the package options, and ask any questions that you need. I'll send you voice notes. I'll send you one-on-one. There's not a setter in my DMs. It literally is just me, and we'll give you guys everything that you need to know in order to grow and scale. Okay, so that is everything you need to know about agency closers. And just to give you guys an idea, this is just some examples of clients that we've been able to help with. We helped Tyler's agency, which works with accountants, go from collecting PIFs, they're doing about 30K a month in one-time payments, to going to 55K in MRR in a 60-day window by optimizing their sales process. We actually doubled their cash collected and went from PIF model, like a one-time build-up model, to MRR. Josh here is working at a car dealership marketing agency, and they've actually been able to take them from implementing the framework and the training system to go from collecting anywhere from around 17 to 20K in cash collected. They're now collecting 60K, 55 to 60K in new cash collected month over month, and have bottlenecked their entire team. This is just Josh's message of collecting 9K in a single day, which is like literally half of what they were doing before, which is amazing. Hassan here is actually not even in the program. This guy just took my framework and implemented it, has never even trained with me before, and he actually massively increased their closing percentage and closed 22K in new cash collected for the last month. Angie here, we are able to take her from around 50K a month to 100K a month within our agency. We've actually helped her almost double her pricing all within the first 60 days of working together. Galen here closing 50K deals, cash collected with the framework. Hunter, we actually tripled his pricing. He was charging like $1,500 a month for Amazon services and is now closing 6,500 to 10K a month packages within his ecosystem using our framework. Dan here, we actually doubled their performance, doubling their close rate in the first 60 days of working together, which was absolutely wild. And then also Calvin and Damien, who you can't see here, we actually tripled their pricing, going from $1,500 to $3,500, as well as tripling their close rate and doubling their show rate. And that sounds wild, but this is the impact of actually doing things properly. And the crazy thing is this team had sales experience. He's closed 500K in cash collected in the info space. We came in, optimized his process, and we actually scaled their agency really aggressively by making these changes. And I could go on and on, guys. There's a whole bunch more here, examples for you guys to look at. But I'm going to stop this video right here. So if you guys are interested in working with agency closers, shoot me a DM. Let's get started, and I'll send you everything that you need to know. But I appreciate you guys watching this, and I hope that you guys get a ton of value. Go collect some more cash.